Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of the Sobriety Lunchbox Live Lunch. My name is Victoria Drummond and I am a certified holistic nutrition coach and a recovering alcoholic. I'm here today to share some messages with you regarding weight gain in recovery. It is an all too common problem and I want to help you fix it. So the first thing I want to ask you is, have you ever heard of the freshman 15? The freshman 15 is the typical amount of weight gain experienced by students when they start college or university. The reason that this weight gain happens is because of a total change in lifestyle. The majority of these students have moved from are living away from home for the first time in their lives. They've gone from a place of safety and security where meals are prepared and planned. Their life is kind of packaged for them. They don't have to really plan anything. They don't have to worry about finances, all of these pieces. Suddenly they're living on their own. They're having to budget their own food. They're having to get their own groceries and they're having to prepare their own meals. Doing that on top of a full course load, as well as adjusting to living on their own, cleaning their own house and tidying up after themselves, as well as, getting accustomed to a new social life and just totally different regimen. This is a lot for someone to handle, so it kind of makes sense that weight gain might start to happen. And because food isn't typically high on the budget priority, we're looking, they typically focus their finances towards things like partying. Food's most likely not going to be your fresh fruits and veggies that you need. It's going to be things like craft dinner or trips to the cafeteria, anything that doesn't really take a whole lot of time. So it's easy to see why weight gain can occur. Now, there's something that I like to refer to as the sober 16. So like I mentioned, it's very common in recovery for people to suffer with weight gain. Now, 16 isn't kind of a normal or an average weight gain. There's actually no studies around how much weight gain is normal in recovery. But it just kind of gets across the point that it is a common problem, but there is a way to address it. It comes along with a total change in lifestyle, but there's actually deeper rooted causes as to why you're gaining weight in recovery. But before I get into the reasons why or tell you how to fix it, I do want to mention to you that you need to give yourself a break. A little bit of weight gain in recovery in some instances is actually a really good thing, but it's really just a result in your body kind of shifting gears from processing drugs and alcohol to processing food, and it uses a totally different metabolic pathway to do it. But the first priority is to take care of yourself first. Don't worry so much if your jeans are a little bit too snug. The idea is that you stay sober. So take care of your soul, allow yourself to heal, move forward with your life, and then everything else will start to fall into place. Now, let's get into the real reasons as to why. And I'm going to have a little sip of my tea first here, if that's okay. So one of the first reasons why you're gaining weight in recovery is because your metabolism has tanked. So metabolism is the processes that your body uses to convert energy or fuel sources into energy, and it's the result of all the little cellular functions that happen in the body. So the job is to take fuel and convert it into energy, and we need to do that for survival. So while in active addiction, we are not sleeping properly, we're not eating regularly, we're generally not exercising, we have a crappy diet, and we're dehydrated, all of which decrease the metabolic rate. And just because you got sober doesn't mean your metabolism's suddenly going to turn around and everything's going to be fine going forward. It needs a little work, it needs a little help to kind of get revved back up. And it's going to take some time, just like you, to kind of shift back into normal living. So when you combine a slow metabolism with the insatiable cravings that tend to come along with recovery, then it's a recipe for weight gain. But we can talk a little bit more about the cravings, so just kind of bear with me. We're going to talk a little bit about them today, but we're going to talk a lot about them in a future episode. One of the other reasons that you're gaining weight is because you're tired. When you're tired, your body produces more of the hormone called ghrelin. And ghrelin's job is to tell you that you're hungry, even when you're not. When you're tired, it automatically produces more. The other aspect of being tired is that because because you're tired, you're automatically going to start to reach out for sources of energy. For some people that might be coffee, but for a lot of people it's going to be things like sugar or simple carbohydrates like baked goods, donuts, anything like that. Something that's going to give you kind of that initial jolt of energy and is quick to digest. And those are going to pack on a lot of empty calories. And that is where a lot of the weight gain is going to come from. So there's two pieces to being tired. One is the hormone ghrelin. The other piece is what you're going to reach for when you're tired. And also the fact is that you're tired, so you're not going to take the time to prepare a healthy meal. You're going to eat something that's quick and tastes good. So then the next piece, because of what we're eating, the simple carbohydrates, we've created an unstable blood sugar problem. And so having unstable blood sugar leads to spikes and crashes in our energy. And so when we have, say, a donut, okay, so this is our glucose level, which is our blood sugar. This is where our energy is good. When we suddenly get really hungry and we eat something like a donut, our blood sugar tends to spike up. Once it's gone up, we have that kind of quick burst of energy. However, our bodies then produce something called insulin, which is another hormone that's produced between the pancreas and the liver. That insulin secretes and causes the blood sugar to drop down. What happens when that starts to drop down is that when it gets too low, is that we start to get hungry again. We get a blood sugar crash, and we can experience symptoms like weakness, shakiness, and what I refer to as being hangry, which is kind of the combo of being hungry and angry, and no one really likes to feel that way. So what do? We reach for something else that's another quick fix to bring our blood sugar back up. But then what happens is the body secretes more insulin to bring that blood sugar back down. So you can kind of see what we're doing here is a little wave with our hand, but also, it's just a blood sugar roller coaster, and it creates an absolute nightmare for us. Then there's also the piece with insulin that what it does is when your body's secreting that insulin to pull the blood sugar out of the bloodstream, the insulin stores it into your cells and tissues as fat. So sugar is actually converting into fat in the body. If you can keep a consistent blood sugar level and keep those insulin levels low, then you're gonna lose weight fairly quickly, and which is why a lot of low carb diets will work for people, because they're keeping that blood sugar stable and those insulin levels really low and consistent. And then that helps with energy and helps with those crashes, because those are absolutely awful. I used to suffer with them all the time and still struggle with them now and then, but definitely better at maintaining a more consistent diet than I used to be. One of the last reasons I want to chat about today with regards to weight gain is the liver. I'm going to talk about the liver a ton. I've mentioned that a ton already, but the liver is vital in everything that we do, and it takes such a beating when we abuse drugs and alcohol. And the liver's role in all of this is two things. One is fat digestion. So if the liver's not working properly, you're not actually breaking down fat properly. So you might be consuming healthy fats, but if your body's not breaking it down properly, you're not getting the nutrients out of it, and you're actually just kind of getting empty calories, and it's just getting stored in the body, not getting utilized for the brain health, for the joints, for the tissues, all of these things that fats need to do. So it's really important to get that liver up and running and have it functioning properly to help you with the fat digestion. The other piece that the liver's involved in is hormone regulation. So one of its jobs is to actually pull excess hormones from the body. And hormones, especially estrogen, have a huge role in fat storage. So if your body's not removing the excess estrogen, it can also be impacting how much fat your body thinks that it needs to store. So those are a couple things with the liver. And again, another reason why the liver is so important to take care of in recovery. So just to recap what we've talked about so far, and then we'll get to the good stuff as to how to fix it. One, your metabolism has tanked from abuse, and that's easy to fix. The next one is because you're tired, and that is something that's easily fixed. You just will work on that, building your energy back up, getting good quality sleep. Next is unstable blood sugar, and then the last one is the liver. So how to fix it? Step number one, get your blood sugar in Check. Okay, we don't want this roller coaster ride all day long. What you really want to do is start your day out with a very healthy breakfast. So you want to think protein, fats, and very complex carbohydrates, if any at all. So eggs and bacon are great if it's along with like whole grain toast, avocados, something with coconut oil. You can have a protein shake as long as it's not packed with sugar, and maybe add a little bit of avocado or some kind of extra fats to it, something along those lines. That's going to kind of set the tone for the day and help keep your blood sugar stable. But if you start your day with cereal or donuts or anything that's going to cause that instant peak, you're going to struggle with this all day long. I really just kind of like doing this with my hand. If you start your day out right, you're going to kind of keep that consistent level all day long, and it's going to be that much easier to maintain a healthy diet the rest of the day. So start your day out right. Step number 2, water. Now, if you have not seen Tuesday's video, make sure to go check that out, because we did cover a lot about hydration, how to use it, how much to get, where to get it from, and how it can impact the body. But hydration has such a huge impact on how your body's going to process calories, sugar, and fat. Step number 3, the liver refresh program. So I do have a liver refresh program on my website, sobrietylunchbox.com. Make sure to check it out. It's a free 5-day e-course that's going to walk you through step by step a few different ways to help support your liver and help get it functioning at its peak. The last thing is to get moving. So exercise, I'm sure you are well aware of, is super important when it comes to weight management, but it's not just about burning calories to balance out what you've eaten during the day. It helps with insulin sensitivity, which helps improve that whole spike and crash and the cravings that happen with it. And the muscle also helps burn more calories than body fat does. So it will help increase energy, it'll help increase your stamina, and it'll help you actually sleep better, which will also accomplish the piece where you're tired and reaching for crappy foods. So those are my 4 tips. Like I said, get your blood sugar in check, get your water into your system, help refresh your liver, and get your body moving, and make sure you sweat a little every single day, and not just from stress and nerves, because there's more to life than that. So that's it for today. Again, my name is Victoria, and this is episode 3 of Live Lunch with Sobriety Lunchbox. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and make sure to post your comments and questions below if you've got an idea that you'd like me to talk about in the future. I'm doing these episodes Tuesdays and Thursdays throughout November, and if I get great feedback, I'll continue to do so. And love to hear what you guys have to say. Make sure you check out the website, sign up for the mailing list so you don't miss anything in the future, and I will chat with you guys soon. Have a great day.